Hello everyone. Today is my first of I think about 12 videos I'll be making about my experience in level 2 fieldwork. I am at an outpatient neuro setting in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'm going to just be sharing 5 things each week that I learn during my time here, and I hope it's helpful to you guys. I know you're busy. I'm trying to keep my occupational balance as well, so I'm gonna try to make this quick so I can get out and enjoy the nice weather here, and hopefully so you guys can just go about the rest of your day. And if you experience anything in the comments, like if you relate to anything that I'm talking about, or if you have any advice for me as a student, this is my first fieldwork I'm in 2A right now. So if you have any advice, I would love to hear it, whether you're a practitioner, first year student, even like a third year who's just like, hey, like I went through something similar, just or even something different, but you would just want to give me some advice, I'd appreciate it. And let's get into it. This is stuff, it looks like I'm looking down at a script. I don't have a script, it's just notes from my phone that I wrote down throughout the week. So the first thing that I learned is that documentation does not wait for you. Um, it's all right to bring a notepad along with you if you ask your CI if that's appropriate. I realized that I'm not gonna be able to memorize everything that we're doing in each session. I might not even know everything that we do in each session, and I have to go over that at the end of the day with my CI and figure out why we were doing this stretch, why we did this assessment, because they've been in whatever they're doing for multiple years. This is like your first time ever experiencing it. So just don't sacrifice like your learning in order to write down everything for like documentation later. Like if you're giving up like 10 minutes each session just in going to document and taking a lot of time out of your day to do that instead of like trying to just learn and soak everything in, that's just going to be kind of counterproductive going forward. My second thing is the saying, do as I say, not as I do. I feel like it's pretty acceptable for like a CI though. They've been in the practice for a lot longer than you have. If you grew up hearing that saying, you might be like, oh man, like they should practice what they preach. If they tell you to do something, genuinely just listen to them. They want what's best for you. They've had students before, they know what they're doing, and just don't like get offended at anything that they tell you you want to learn. They want you to learn, they want the best for you. So, well, hopefully they do. I'm sure there have been cases where that's not the case, but in this instance, you hope that's the case. Um, uh, my third point is a textbook in school is not real life. So you may know every like everything that there is in textbooks, whether that's like everything in the neuroscience textbook, everything in your anatomy textbook. Like, well, if this is the case and they present this way, then it has to be this. It just doesn't work that way. It's not always that black and white in real life. And like someone could be like they could have the same exact diagnosis and have different presentations, or they could present the same and it be a different diagnosis. Like you just can't assume. You just always have to ask, learn, and I mean it's kind of where like OTs come in, where we're unique in our client-centered approach. Really, just talk to the client, figure like out as much as they're willing to share. Obviously, you don't want to like press anything, but if you have questions, a lot of times they're willing to talk about their experiences and like how they're impacted each day by whatever it is they have. And then the next one is might be a little bit hard here, especially if going into field work, but time is not time, I guess. So if when you're talking with your fieldwork like CI and it's like, okay, so we're like open 9 to 5, right? Your clinic's open 9 to 5. You can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna let you're like 15 minutes early, 8:45, and then leave at 5, and then I'll work from 5:30 to 10 p.m. each night and make money on the side so I can pay for rent while I'm like here. It that and ideally that would work, but realistically, like there's things that go into every part of like how your like clinic functions. So like you might have to clean up, you might have to stay longer to like chart, you might have to do just like a random task that you didn't expect to do. So be gracious with your time, give yourself some breathing room if you're able to. Obviously, you're here for a reason. You invested in yourself, you're betting on yourself. So you really got to go all in on the bet if you're gonna like be putting hundreds of like thousands of dollars into grad school. You have to be able to be like just be willing to like give yourself a little bit of time to be here in fieldwork, I think. I don't know, I might get some heat for saying that, but I thought I was like, man, like this starts at 8:30, I'll be out by 4, I can work from, like, 4:30 to 10 PM. I'm so dumb. Why did I think that to start? That's just me being honest. But yeah, just give yourself some breathing room. Now for the last one, sorry that this is taking so long, I didn't expect this to be, like, over 5 minutes, but, you're working with people, you're gonna be surrounded with people who have experience in this, right? So, really just, like, soak in everything. This is advice that, like, the third year capstone student gave to me while I'm working here. She was like, "Don't expect to be, like, on the same level as the therapist here." I wasn't having that expectation. I was giving myself, like, a lot of grace, just being willing the first week just to be able to soak everything in, learn as much as possible. But if you're a perfectionist, which I think is might be a lot of people if you're in grad school, right? You're trying to better yourself, trying to just you're in the world of academia. You're smart, right? You're probably pretty smart if you've gotten into the program and made it this far. Um, or you're just lucky. I feel like that might be a little bit more in my case, but uh, just don't hold yourself to too high of expectations and beat up on yourself if you don't know something. If you have a question, that's perfectly fine. You're a student right now. And even when you're a practitioner, if you go through life and you don't like ask questions, however are you going to learn and become a better person? So that's my 5 things. Let me know in the comments if you have had any similar experiences. And yeah, thanks for your time. Good luck in your fieldwork or whatever phase of life you're in. Happy 2026.